Jesus' most famous address, known in the history of the Sermon on the Mount, is recorded in Matthew 5-7. There's the place for the Christian to turn to for a way to witness in a world divided and torn by sin. This is it. I want to focus on a few things and what Jesus says about the desire for justice and the work of justice to his disciples. We open our reflections on the political witness with King's activities in Birmingham and the justification for his presence there. It was simply this: justice is here. He goes on to cite biblical characters who are moved to aid those in need. This only begs the question: why did Paul or Isaiah or Amos care about injustice? And I think Jesus undergirds the reason why in his two Beatitudes. Blessed are those who grieve, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be filled. To mourn involves being saddened by the state of the world. To mourn is to care. Yesterday, I was not on social media until the very end of the day. And we are continually bombarded with crisis after crisis. And so by the time I logged on to social media in any significant way, we were hours from an execution in my home state of Alabama. Man, I'm no expert on the death penalty, and there's a case unfolding before me. And my initial instinct was to say, I don't have the emotional energy for this right now. And I think that we can be so bombarded by this endless stream of pain that is paraded before us that the natural instinct is to say, I've done enough. And we can create this little circle where we can shut ourselves off from the pain of the world and care about our family. But mourning calls upon all of us to recognize our own complicity in the sufferings of others. It's precisely our apathy, our desires, our greeds, our lust that allows us to exploit others. A theology of mourning allows us never to have the privilege of saying, I don't care. We never put the interest of our families or our country over the suffering of the world. Mourning is the intuition that things are not right, that more is possible. Our political leaders run on our desires to convince us that utopia is possible here and they alone can provide it. And mourning sees through that. I think the Christian then lives with a certain joyful sorrow. We can't fix everything. I find myself recognizing that I can't become an expert on an issue sufficiently to comment upon it and then propose a solution as it comes to me. But I have realized that I can always pray. And so when I saw the brother, his story, I prayed.